this episode of the Gig Harbor Flycast, and I'm coming to you from Forks, Washington. I'm at Steelhead Camp right now. I'm guiding for the next several weeks, and so I thought I'd take the opportunity to intro this podcast of an interview I had with Sandflea, a guide down in Isla Holbox, Mexico, and wanted to introduce him to you. But before we get rolling into that, a couple things. I'm steelhead guiding this week, and it's supposed to snow this weekend, and I really want to go someplace warm. I just got back from someplace warm, so maybe that's why I want to get away and go again. Maybe my feet haven't acclimated to wearing socks and shoes yet. But this fall in October, I'm hosting a trip to Cuba. And I think this is either my 7th or 8th trip that I'll be hosting on there. And we're going to the Zapata Peninsula, south of Havana on the Georgiana. It's a really great live-aboard situation where the skiffs pick us up off the boat, we go fish, and this is like incredible fishing. You don't see anyone else around. It's a beautiful thing. Would love to have you join us, and we have a few open spots for that. But we have some other destinations that we're going to be going to as well, and so a lot of that stuff's on our website. You can check out like our Christmas Island 2021 trip, as well as some other tropical destinations. So if you're new starting out fly fishing, we really want to help you out. We want to help you get started on the right foot, learning the cast, not getting frustrated more than it normally is. And so we have classes that are great and perfect for you to be able to dive into fly fishing. So we have our Intro to Fly Fishing class. That's on Saturdays. Check out our website at gigharborflyshop.com for all of the schedule and make reservations. It's a great class for just $50. But we also have on their clinics that are follow-ups. And there's a lake fishing clinic, a stream fishing clinic, and then I teach a beach clinic as well, teaching you how to fish the beaches around Puget Sound. So in addition to those things, we also run guided trips. Right now, what time is it? It's like 11:10 p.m. And so I'm getting ready to call it a night. I'm steelhead guiding in the morning, but we have a lot of cutthroat guided trips available for fishing Puget Sound from either the beach or from our fleet of Hobie kayaks. And so make sure you get scheduled in for that stuff for this summer. It's a lot of fun. That's our most popular guided trips from the whole year. So diving into our interview for today, I had the opportunity to fish with, I would say he's a legendary guide in the fly fishing industry, named Sandflea, and it's a nickname that his dad gave him, and he tells the story. And anyways, I got to fish with him in Guatemala for a few days, and just had an absolute blast. It wasn't only because I had the opportunity to practice my Spanish, which I've been really working hard at, but just got to get to know him a little bit more, and just hear his story and talk to another fly fishing industry professional is great. So then after Guatemala, we flew to Mexico, and we drove to Sandflea's house. And so we flew into Cancun, and got picked up and took the van ride that's about an hour and a half to a ferry, which felt very much at home. Big ferries, just like Washington. Took a 20-minute ferry across to this little island where we were taking to Sandflea's house. So the guy just loves fly fishing and just loves people. I mean, he's just great to get along with and a lot of fun. And so I'm really excited to introduce him to you today. And so I hope you enjoy this interview as much as I had hanging out with him. Hey, welcome to this episode of the Gig Harbor Flycast, and I have a special guest today with me, Sandflea, and we are on location in Mexico at Sandflea's home in Isla Holbox. And so thanks for one, hosting us this week here fishing, and for all your hospitality, and for just hanging out and chatting today. And so first, your nickname. You got to tell the story about how you got the nickname.
Yeah. No, my father told me when I was a kid, I was like a Dennis the Menace, you know? Like a Dennis the Menace, you know? I was, when the house was so quiet, I said, oh, something's happening here, you know? And we called Sandflea, the no-seams here in Holbox.
No seams?
Yeah, and,
okay.
and, you know, they bother you too much, and that's my father told me, and named me Sandflea. What can I do? Sandflea, and I'm Sandflea.
And it's stuck.
I just stuck over there.
Yeah. So, so a lot of people probably don't even know your real name.
No, very few people. No, everybody calls me Sandflea or Russian. Mostly the local people here, they call me Russian, Russo. They call me Russo.
Yeah.
But very few people knows my name.
Or they call you Mr. Tarpon.
Oh, Mr. Tarpon.
Mr. Tarpon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, so you grew up in the area, and so tell us a little bit about growing up, and then how you ended up more in town.
No, I born here. I born here in Holbox, but I live first in the lighthouse, like a 40 kilometers from here, because my father's family, they were the owner of the coconut farms in that time, you know, like 45 years ago. So we go, because my father was the lighthouse keeper too over there, and my grandpa too. That's the reason I know all those areas, because they show me all those places where to fish. So when we grow up until 6 or 7 years old, my father told us, okay, we need to move to Holbox because we need to go to the school. We came back here to go to the school.
So for those of you that aren't familiar with the area we're talking about, Holbox is kind of by Cancun, an island. It's an hour and a half drive, right, from Cancun.
It's our 30 minutes boat drive from Cancun to Chiquila Port, and 20 minutes to cross by a boat. Yeah,
so it's an island. You have to take a ferry to get across. It costs like what, $6 or something?
Like $11 now.
Oh, it's 11. Oh, yeah. Round trip?
No,
just one way.
Yeah, but not for the local people. For local people, it's cheaper.
Sure,
you know? It's like
sure.
Half price.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So is Pat? Is he considered local at this point?
No, I don't think so. No, it's I don't think so. Not yet. Not yet.
Okay. Our buddy Pat lives down here several months out of the year and fishes like a maniac, and so he's kind of known as one of the local fishing bums.
Yeah, that's true.
So you've seen this town change a lot. Like we were even talking today on the water about how even just a few years ago that there were a lot more commercial fishermen, and half of them quit commercial fishing and are now just doing ecotourism stuff. And so this little beach paradise has become very popular with tourists, and a lot of I've just noticed that it's been a lot of Europeans.
Yep.
You know, and even just talking to friends and talking to different Americans, they don't even know that this place exists.
Yes.
And so it's a little bit off the radar compared to some other popular beach towns, but it's growing. So, what are some of the things that you've seen develop that you like, that's new about the town, and then maybe what are some of the things that
I don't like.
That you don't like.
Yeah, that's true. Mostly Holbox started to growing like 3 or 4 years ago. Before that was a calm island, very
only
cold.
3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah, change.
Wow.
The big change,
Wow.
Because before that one, it's a small island with cozy houses.
How many people live here?
Now it's living like 3,000 people.
3,000, okay.
Like 3,000 living now. Like 4 years ago, they live in like 1,200.
Wow, 1,200. So it's over doubled.
A little more, I think so.
And that's driven pretty much just by tourism.
Yeah, well, by tourism, yeah, because lots of people arrive here to work. Before that one, just the 100% of the people here was commercial fishermen. But now, mostly the 50% they change for commercial fishermen. Sorry, the 50% they change for ecotourism tours.
Yeah.
That work. And the other 50 is commercial fishermen.
Okay, and so some of these nice hotels that are along the beach, those are pretty new then?
Yeah, very new.
Newer construction.
Yeah, some guys came here and wrote something in the newspaper, you know, an American
Yeah.
newspaper in the Wall Street, I don't know.
Yeah.
Explode, Holbox explode, you know.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. So crowded now.
Yeah.
Some seasons, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but I guess so. Some of the good things about that is that there's local economy, there's money coming in, and so commercial fishing is really tough to make money.
Yeah, it's very tough, but that's good for the economy from the island, you know. But for me, some friends they told me, oh, that's good because you have more trips. No, I want 3 or 4 boats.
Yeah.
But I want happy clients.
Yeah.
I don't want 10 boats and just one boat will be catching fish, you know.
Right.
I want to keep in this
Yeah.
secret a little bit, you know.
Well,
Secret.
we're kind of working against that with what we're
Yeah.
doing right here, I mean, but you like to work, and so
Love it.
yeah, so people should come on down and fish with you. So you've been guiding for a long time. How many years have you been guiding?
31 years with me now.
31 years, and that's
30.
all out of Holbox.
I started guiding in Cancun area, in Isla Blanca, Cancun and Cozumel, guiding
Okay.
over there.
So you would go over there to guide
Yes.
and stay, and then come back.
Come back, yes. that's
And that was pretty much just for clients that were coming into Cancun,
Yes.
because those areas are just right
Yep.
there. So, but for you guiding, it's not, traveling around different areas, and getting to experience guides in other countries and stuff like that. For some of them, it's very much a job. Like it is their job. Like, I mean, they like their job, but they're there to work. So getting to know you on this trip and our time that we spent in Guatemala and here, this is not just a job for you.
No, that's not a job. No,
You-
no. Oh,
You love it.
always I say, God, thank you for this beautiful job I have. Yeah,
Yeah.
like a job, but this is not a job for me. I love this. This is my passion.
It's
It's my
your life.
life.
Yeah.
It's my life. I love this, And you make money, okay.
Yeah,
We can-
if you can make money doing something that you absolutely
Yeah,
love, that's
yeah.
great. That's
My
a great
wife,
thing.
I guide in at least 2 months, every day. And my day off, my wife asked me, okay, you will stay here in home next day for resting? No way, Jose.
You're going
One
fishing.
thing, I go fishing. One thing is guiding, another thing is fishing.
Yeah.
I cannot stop. I love
Yeah.
this. I love this,
So in fishing for you has taken you to a lot of different places. Like, you don't solely fish right here. You've gone all over the places. You've gone up to Alaska.
Yeah, Alaska,
Montana,
Louisiana, in Florida.
Yeah.
In Florida, in Idaho, in
Oh.
Jackson Hole,
All the way to Idaho.
in the Babine,
Yeah,
in the Babine
okay.
in Canada.
Froze your tail off.
Yeah, we went to. Jesus Christ, that scared me. No, we went to the Indo-Pacific Ocean too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Providence, all around over there.
Yeah. So you've gone to see. Oh, you've been to the Seychelles.
Yeah, I was in Seychelles.
Yeah. So you've gone all over the place. You're passionate about fishing for permit, and
Yes.
you're counting. How many permit have you got?
238 now.
238. I'm catching up. I only need to catch 235 more, and I got you tied.
I'm lucky.
Yep. Yeah. So when anglers come down here to fish, let's talk about tarpon. So this area is primarily a tarpon
Yes.
fishery. There are some bonefish, but it's not really a bone. I mean, that's if someone really wants to get a grand slam, you're gonna
Yes.
go maybe try to find a bonefish.
Yes,
But it's
very few arrive here. Very few bonefish permit, but
the
small
permit are
ones.
seasonal.
Summer, in summertime,
more-
arrive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So March on.
March
There's
to
some-
August, September, but
Yeah.
most is May to September, but very few.
Yeah.
But we are lucky. We have a friend that every year is coming and we fishing for Grand Slam, and we do it.
Yeah. Every
That's
year.
great, every year.
Wow.
I have clients for 24 years, 25 years coming every year.
And he gets grand slam every year.
every year.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's luck. That's luck.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
That's
yeah.
luck. But he fished for 14 days, 12 days.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's great.
But yeah, but the primary here is tarpon. In summertime, big tarpon.
Yeah.
Baby tarpon year round, and snook too.
Yep.
We find some snooks.
Yeah, we saw some really nice
Yep.
snook today. A couple really big ones.
Yeah,
it was,
nice ones.
Yeah, it was incredible. So for tarpon fishing, on our first day we were here, we went down the beach, which is a beautiful beach. It's,
Yeah.
the waters looks spectacular, and we fished for some pretty large tarpon.
The big ones in the morning.
And yeah, so so you have large tarpon here, and they're over 100 pounds, and it's fishing 12 weights, sinking lines. You're looking for them rolling, trying to position
Yeah.
the boat in front of them. You guys even have paddles where you're paddling the boat after these fish and kind of chasing them all over the place. But the idea is to get out in front of them and get a cast out, let it sink a little bit.
Yep.
And then retrieve the fly back. For an intermediate angler, what are their chances of hooking one of those fish?
That's luck. For me, that seems luck because
pretty tough, huh?
It's very tough, but we have clients that they cast 10 feet, 15 feet, and they do it. It's just little luck. You need
Yeah.
to see how's the wind moving, the current, to put in the right position. You can see they're rolling.
So there's some days where you can't even go there because of the wind.
No, yeah. If it's windy days, we go directly for baby tarpon.
Yeah. So the island, how long's the island?
There is the white is from, they have like a 40 kilometers long.
Okay.
They
And then
call
there's a couple spots where there's channels that go
Yes.
through to get to the lagoon side. And the
Yep.
lagoon, it's a
It's a big
It's
lagoon. It's like
big.
at least like a 50 or 60 miles wide.
50 miles wide.
Yeah.
That's a lot of habitat for tarpon.
Lots of habitat.
So one of the things that I saw on Wednesday that I thought was really cool was there were a couple hundred tarpon that were out of the mangroves on like the flats, and they were just rolling and moving around slowly, and so we were chasing those fish, and I couldn't believe how many fish there were.
Yeah.
But they weren't the large ones that were offshore, and so most of the fish that you're fishing here, what's an average size fish?
You can find them from 2 pounds to
Yeah.
35 pounds, 40 pounders
Yeah.
in the mangrove. 8 pounds, 12 pounds, 20 pounders. Yeah, but the big ones just in the ocean side.
But I'm surprised how many fish I've seen here that in the lagoon that
Yeah.
were 25, 30 pounds. Seems like I didn't expect to see that many
Yeah.
fish that large. I thought there'd be more 12, 15 pound, maybe 20 pound fish. I didn't expect to see as many 30,
Yeah.
35. There's quite a few of them.
Yeah, we are seeing the population every year is growing. But now the 50% of the population in Holbox is changing for the ecotourism.
Yeah.
They are not fishing more for commercial fishermen. That help.
So just having less nets in the
less
water.
nets in the water and everything.
Yeah,
That's
but
true.
we did find a couple dead tarpon
Yeah.
today, and you guys took great care to retrieve those
That's
dead
right.
fish and go throw them up on the beach for the birds and stuff.
Mostly we have
So,
that kind of problem when it's when the cold front start arriving,
Yeah.
because the commercial fishermen, they net in a little bit over there.
'cause normally they net the beach,
Yeah,
right?
and normally they net in the beach, but when it's the cold front coming, the snooks they are chasing for the snooks.
Yeah.
But there are some tarpons over there. And
Yeah.
It's a shame, but
And so
what
then
we
the
can do.
lagoon's protected,
Yes.
and so then it gives them a little bit of area to keep fishing. So so for fishing for tarpon, we hung out, tied some flies last night.
Yeah.
It was really cool to see one of your techniques so the tail doesn't foul. You punched a hole through a magnum strip of rabbit, and then fed the mono through the tail and looped up. A lot of times people will loop the loop around.
Yeah.
Horizontally around the back, but you had it come up and over, and I fished that fly today.
Yeah.
and that fly didn't foul up. It kept it straight. That was a really cool
That's
technique.
cool.
But I noticed that the hooks that you're tying on, they were a Gamakatsu hook, and they're a little bit lighter
Yep.
weight hook than some of the hooks that I've used before, like the Owner Aki hooks,
Yeah.
or even like the Tiemco.
No, they're heavy for here.
So, and is that just because of the depth of water you're normally fishing?
Yeah, the depth here, the water is like 1 foot, or less, half foot.
So that you want that fly to ride a little bit
Yeah,
higher.
yeah, I'm very soft too because the Gamakatsu SC15 one ad, that's the best hook because very light, and we fish in very shallow water,
Yeah.
That's the reason.
So if anglers were going to tie up some of their own flies, to you guys tie flies and supply flies for clients, but sometimes people want to tie their own and fish their own. Would you recommend anglers using different styles of hooks so that their flies are differently weighted and fish different areas?
No, I prefer the same.
Just stay with the light
same
hook.
with the light, yeah, because we fishing our waters here are very clear,
Yeah, they are.
crystal clear, and it's unshallow too. If you
Yeah.
have a heavy hooks, they don't work, they spook them. So that's the reason we use the Gamakatsu SC15 one ad, but all that flies in one ad, that's better.
So the water is pretty clear. The fish can see the fly pretty easily and from a distance. I noticed that even a fish that was further in the pack would maybe even turn to the fly, because you could tell that fish
Yes.
saw the fly, and he was quite a distance away. And so the fly we were using today was white, red head on it with a little bit of pink flash,
Yeah.
but a fairly small fly. So you're not fishing very large flies, but maybe on the beach side you do.
Yeah, on the beach side we do that, but not in the mangrove.
So when you're fishing for tarpon, how close are you going to put the fly? What's the best distance to make the cast to a fish, and then how close do you put the fly to the fish?
The good distance, like at 30 feet, would be a good distance.
Yeah.
But I like to put like at least 2 or 3 feet in front of the fish. Before that one, you need to see how the fish are behaving. So it's running slow, how they are moving, all that things that they count, and you decide, okay, I will put 2 feet in front or 3, but more or less 2 feet for tarpons. But for the snook, it's very different.
Okay.
For the snook, need to be on his head.
And with a soft landing.
Yeah, with a soft land.
So you gotta get
Yes.
the line to roll out and stop and drop,
Yeah.
instead of coming around and smacking the water.
Yeah.
Because accuracy matters, and you're throwing like 9 weights, 10 weights,
9 weight,
maybe
10
even
weights.
sometimes 8 weights. What are some things anglers should be doing before they come down here as far as practicing? Like how should they practice? Because they should, and most
Yeah.
don't. How should they practice to prepare for a trip to come tarpon fishing?
For us babies, you need to start to practicing with the number 9, I prefer.
Okay.
And going the field over there, a football, field, and I start practicing over there with a fly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you need to feel the weight of the fly.
Yeah, one of the things that I noticed was the leader that we were fishing was much longer than I'm used to, and so we were fishing like an 11-foot
11 foot
leader,
crystal clear water.
and that takes practice.
Yes.
Not only to get the whole thing to roll out for you, but the other part I noticed is casting at the mangroves. I'm used to fishing like a 7-foot leader, and so I know how much fly line I have out when I make the cast, and the fly's going to turn over and where it's going to land. But now I have 4 feet more leader material, and so I go to make my cast, and I'm in the mangroves, and I'm like, the longer leader keeps throwing me off, because I can see the fly line. I know what the fly line's doing.
That's true.
And so anglers should practice with the longer leader. Practice at home, rolling that thing out, and accuracy counts. And
that's true.
Hey, thanks so much for joining us today on this episode of the Gig Harbor Flycast. Can you do us a favor and leave us a review? It's a brand new podcast, and we would love for other people to discover it. And leaving a review helps people find that a lot easier. Make sure you subscribe to it on whatever channel you get your podcast, whether it's on Stitcher or Apple or whatever it is. Make sure you get all the updates because we have a weekly podcast that comes out. We have some really great stuff that's coming up. In fact, what's coming up is that we have an interview with George Cook, and he's the Sage Fly Rods rep, and he's going to be talking about something new from Sage that's coming out. And we also have Brian Bennett on the show that's coming up. And Brian is the brains and creator of moldychum.com, and Brian's a great friend and is one of the smartest people in the industry that I know. So thanks for joining us today. Make sure you subscribe to keep updated with everything we got going on, and hopefully we'll see you soon.